This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by the Emerald Conference, the conference when it comes to the science and technology of legal marijuana. The Emerald Conference brings together some of the best and brightest scientific minds in the industry, along with gaggles of tech hackers and all-around out-of-the-box thinkers, and is coming up in sunny San Diego, California from February 27th through March 1st. Open up the emeraldconference.com today to register and to learn more about all the great keynote speakers, presenting companies, and topics to be discussed. You'll not only hear from those scheduled experts, but will also get a chance to mix and mingle with all the other conference attendees. One more time, just open up theemeraldconference.com for more detail and to register. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Friday, February 8th, 2019, and you're tuned in to episode 662 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. We bound out to Oregon for our top story of the day, where a bill to allow the state's cannabis farmers to export marijuana to other bordering legal states was given its first public hearing yesterday. I should probably disclose here that Adam Smith, a regular on our weekly show Marijuana Today, is one of the driving forces behind this idea, as he leads up the Oregon Craft Cannabis Alliance, which is active in promoting the state's marijuana brand and industry. Proposed bill SB 582 would allow Oregon to export its surplus legal cannabis, which it has a lot of, to the bordering legal states of California, Nevada, and Washington. Currently, federal law maintains that any cross-border transportation of marijuana is illegal, but one of the bill's co-sponsors said that his legislation would put Oregon in place to take advantage of selling to other states just as soon as that federal restriction is removed. Oregon Governor Kate Brown was asked about the bill yesterday and said that she was supportive of the idea, while the state's U.S. Attorney Billy J. Williams was not, who said in an emailed statement that federal law still holds marijuana to be illegal. Former professional golfer Greg Norman is getting into the CBD game. Norman has developed his own brand of consumer products over the years, and his company is now working with the Authentic Brands Group, or ABG, as well as Canadian legal marijuana giant Tilray to roll out a series of Greg Norman branded CBD products. Regular listeners should remember the recently announced deal between Tilray and ABG, which will put onto the market legal cannabis products co-developed with brands like Nine West, Nautica, Airwalk, and Aeropostale. This one has a lot of potential to push out legal cannabis to the mainstream market, so it's a good storyline to follow in general. Swing over to New Cannabis Ventures if you need more detail. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com and on our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily. We wrap up our top stories for the day and for the week with a good headline out of Colorado, where lawmakers voted 63-0 in the State House of Representatives in favor of a bill adding autism to their list of medical marijuana qualifying conditions. The bill will now head to the state Senate, where it's expected to pass before landing on the desk of newly elected Governor Jared Polis, who said he will sign it. A similar bill to this one was passed in the state legislature last year, but was vetoed by former Governor John Hickenlooper, who said that he needed to see more research into using cannabis to treat autism. It's great to see this turn around. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz out in headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, the Emerald Conference, the conference when it comes to the science and technology of legal marijuana. With sessions focusing on topics like cannabis genomics and chemotyping and formulating the future of cannabis products, you're sure to go home post-conference with a ton of new sciencey knowledge and wisdom, and will generally be better prepared to take advantage of new opportunities in the industry. And because the folks behind the Emerald Conference know that all of our calendars are already packed with cannabis industry events, they've taken the steps to make sure that their conference is as top shelf as it gets, taking place at the luxurious and beautiful Lowe's Coronado Bay Resort in sunny San Diego. Swing over to theemeraldconference.com today and register for this must-attend event. That's theemeraldconference.com. All right, time for the Blitz. Stephen Hoffman, executive director of the Massachusetts Cannabis Control Commission, said yesterday that he is comfortable with the pace with which his state is rolling out its legal adult use industry, particularly in context of displacing the illicit market. So far, the state has 9 adult use dispensaries up and running, with more expected to come online each month. When asked about estimates that just over 3/4 of the cannabis sold in Massachusetts was via the illicit market, Hoffman said that he didn't expect that legal marijuana would be able to knock out the illegal market entirely right away, Tilray, and that his focus was more on the long-term health of the new industry. Lots of good detail on this one, so maybe something to open and read, especially if you do business in the Bay State. Yesterday, a legislative committee in Hawaii's state senate voted to advance a bill to legalize adult-use marijuana, setting up a taxed and regulated sales system. The bill still has a few more committees to work through in the Senate, so we'll keep an eye out. Swing over to Marijuana Moment for more background and context here. The nation of Colombia has approved for the first time ever the legal export of cannabis to another country, in this case, Canada. The Colombian company Clever Leaves will export cannabis grown in the South American nation to Canada for analytical testing. The permit granted will allow 6 different strains of flower to be sent to Canada to be tested. A Clever Leaves spokesperson said the company hoped it would show the high quality of legal marijuana grown in Colombia. The shipment will take place later this month, with results to follow next month. California state cannabis authorities released some clarification yesterday on what the legal limits are for THC content in legal marijuana edibles. There was some confusion sowed on what the exact rule for how much THC can be in a packaged edible, with 2 different state agencies releasing different standards that caused some testing labs to fail samples for one standard that would have passed under the other. The new clarified rule is that edibles can have a 10% variance on how much THC is found and still pass. A great one to open up if you do business in California. Florida's chief financial officer, Jimmy Patronis, wrote a letter yesterday asking President Donald Trump to lift federal restrictions on financial institutions extending banking services to state legal marijuana businesses. Patronis said in his letter, which you can read for yourself via a link on Action News Jax, that requiring legal cannabis purchases to be made in cash creates dangerous situations rife for criminal exploitation and robbery. And finally for today, Kyle Yeager over Marijuana Moment has an exclusive look at the people who will be testifying in front of Congress next week on the issue of cannabis business banking. Kyle's colleague Tom Angel first wrote earlier this week about the hearings, which come following the handover of power in the U.S. House of Representatives from the Republicans to the Democrats. Among those slated to testify are Neil Franklin, Executive Director of Law Enforcement Action Partnership, or LEAP, as well as California State Treasurer Fiona Ma and Corey Barnett, a D.C.-based medical marijuana business owner and cultivator. Swing over for the full list and more detail. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again Monday morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Thanks to our sponsor, the Emerald Conference, and to all of our awesome patron listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the patron listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in, starting your day with marijuana today. Today.
One take, Shay. One take.